Hello, smeg heads, and welcome back to Smug Mode. This is a Red Dwarf podcast where we talk about the British sci-fi comedy classic Red Dwarf. I'm Ben Gilman, as always. I'm joined by Tom Hill.
Hey.
Troy Salmon.
Sup?
Dan Rudge.
You're right.
And Dan Rudge. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There's no one else behind you. And this week we start our coverage of season 5.
Hello.
Episode 1, Holoship. I'm just powering through. Smug Mode is now engaged. Hey. Right. So this episode, Rimmer is adopted by the holographic crew of a holographic space vessel, and he finds the vessel is perfect and the holographic crew members have super intelligence, and Rimmer decides to join the crew, where he falls in love with the crew member Nirvana Crane. So this is a pretty decent episode, guys.
Yeah, I liked it.
To celebrate it, we start off with Rimmer is now in a red costume and Cat looks like a disco ball already.
Yeah, fair play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they start off with that scene where they're watching that movie. Does anyone know what the movie was? Because I didn't find it.
Yeah, I literally don't know.
I think it was like a Casablanca ripoff.
Yeah, type of story.
I don't think
it might have been actually filmed for that scene.
Probably, yeah. But it's in that style of like the 30s and 40s.
An affair to remember.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Black and white days.
Yeah, classics. Well, don't knock them.
But I mean that is a really I like that because it's a really simple introduction to the series, but also it frames the entire episode. You don't realise it at the time, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a nice way of framing where we're going to go with it, which is cool. Anyway.
I do love how Lister is a very tender young man. Starts crying at the end of it. I did think at the time that they were watching Androids, like a little callback to Crichton's favourite soap, but it wasn't. I'm so glad you guys have cleared that up. I do think that Rimmer's thinking Jesus should go into show business, as Son of God is amazing. How do you, pretty brilliant.
The idea that he's got no romance in his soul, yeah.
He has no soul.
It's like a dried up prune.
Oh my God.
It's not that though, is it? It's that his self-interest overrides it.
Yeah, it's just so selfish. It's just like
9 times out of 10, that level of fuck, lie, cheat, steal, run away. It's a practiced and strong mechanism for it.
Yeah.
It shows part 2 as well, so it ties in.
This is maybe the first time I've seen Lister's dreads loose in quite a while. Like, he hasn't tied them up.
Yeah.
They're like loose.
He's eating them at the beginning of the episode, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've noticed Lister's also got a lot of new patches on his jacket. Does anybody know what they are? Was anybody able to identify any of the new patches he has on his jacket? Because it's definitely a new one.
I didn't actually try.
No, me either. I was just looking at his jacket. I was like, cool jacket, but I didn't actually see the actual sigils on his jacket or nothing like that.
Okay.
Didn't catch him.
So
it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Something. Well, spoilers, we won't be able to do it for the next episode because I didn't take any notes for that. But maybe 3 onwards, we can try and find out. I'm going to try and freeze frame it. So I do love the bit where the cat is saying we should have defensive shields when the Holoship turns up. And Crichton says
Should
there are
drop defensive shields. A brilliant and inventive suggestion, sir, with just 2 minor doubles.
Other drawbacks.
That's one of my favourite things that they call back on in this series constantly is the 2 minor drawbacks.
I love it. The drawback stuff kills me, man.
It's the new It's the new manual for the Starship. What is it? The Space Corps directives. Yeah.
Space Corps directives. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's also included in this series as well. Both of them appear in this series.
I do love how they don't overuse it though. When I was younger, I swear they used it a lot more than they do. And I'm really glad that they use it sparingly because it is funny when they pop it up.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So I just wanted to talk about how the Holoship looks like a nunchuck.
Nunchuck.
I thought it looked badass.
Yeah, it looks
it's
awesome. I like it.
really cool. It's really nice.
But it also kind of looked like an anal thermometer.
Yeah. This guy.
That's sick now.
But like we saw last season, like the ship scales, spaceship for the Judgment. I do think Red Dwarf does very good spaceship designs that don't look anything like anything else in sci-fi. You know, it's never boring to look at a spaceship in Red Dwarf, is it?
No, I suppose not.
Definitely not. No, definitely not.
No, I do love the cat when Rimmer gets taken by the Holoship. The cat's happy. Let's go before they bring him back.
Sorry, they've taken Mr. Rimmer. They've taken Mr. Rimmer.
The cat's a legend.
Cat is awesome in this.
Cat's on fire. Cat doesn't get many scenes, but when he does, like, this is something I'm beginning to notice. The Cat may not get many things in this show, but he's always got the one-liner ready to go.
He's got a killer one. He gets killer one-liners just every now and then that are just absolutely out of this world.
The Cat is now my wife's favourite character. I just wanted to say I love the Holoship uniforms. They look comfortable to wear. They look like, pajamas, like really comfortable. I want them. I bet you I can online somewhere I can find a fan on a set of pajamas like that. I want a pair.
Like a 90s R&B band called Baggy. Nice and baggy. I like it. It was nice, man.
I tried to find an interview where they were like, apparently someone said, Chris Barry said that they were really comfortable to wear.
They looked it.
And he kept his, apparently.
Well, why wouldn't you? Jeez.
Yeah, I'd keep that. Heck yeah, I'd keep it.
I would have to question if his fat stomach can still wear it, but okay, Ben, don't start sagging off the start.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, come on, Chris Barry hasn't put on that.
Oh, come on.
No, he hasn't. He's just lost the hair. It's fine.
Yeah.
I do like the fact how the Holoship looks like a ghost ship.
Yeah.
It's kind of got like that ghostly pirate ship type vibe to it. See through, feels like it's haunting space.
I just love the fact that they put in there that the Holoship has a rule that you have to have sex twice a day. I think that's just
my next point. Yes.
Sorry, I
knew it. I knew it was coming so quick.
And they don't have relationships, so that it's easy to deal with. I love that.
And the idea that all of our hang-ups are because of our parents. Just emphasizing everything that Rimmer has ever believed about everything.
As my brother once said about this episode, it's an orgy. It's an orgy ship.
I just love that question. What do you do if you want to have sex? Go for a run? Watch your video on the ship's vid? They get a bit tense or annoyed. Oh, it's got worse the last 10 years, I can't deny. So good. So
I love how they talk about how families are bad for your mental health. Like, because, I agree. Because you can't...
Okay. The views of Ben Gilman are not necessary.
Disclaimer, guys. Disclaimer.
This is becoming a running joke
this is
now.
a very personal issue. Disclaimer.
Yes.
No, but the thing is, it does make you realise, like, your family's your family. You can't just throw them away because they're your blood, and they can cause a lot of stress sometimes. It's a relatable thing.
The views of Ben Gilman.
Oh. Wow.
I mean,
sorry, Ben.
The views of Dan Rudge are not necessarily the views of Square Eye Syndrome or Smug Mug, but I get where you are coming from, Ben. It's just, people's experience of family and friendship and everything, it's very, very subjective.
Absolutely.
that's it.
It's true,
That's what I'm
everyone's
saying. That's it. Yeah, that's the thing I was saying. Like,
I don't want to sit here and say, look, I'm discounting those people who might be listening who maybe had a very different relationship with their own family.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Have you got Bill Hicks in your head? Good evening, Roy. Mama never beat me and Daddy never fucked me. Good night.
Back on track. Let's get back on track.
Sorry.
So, I don't understand how this shit works though, because if they're all holograms.
Yeah, it's all made of light. That's the whole point.
That's amazing.
So that's the thing, they can interact with everything because it's all made of light.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm overthinking.
Generated.
Yeah. What happens if they get a bad somebody forgets to put 50p in the meter? They're screwed.
I imagine there's some kind of high-powered thing that makes it all.
It'll just disappear into steam into the sky. Where have you parked it? I don't know. Where has it gone? Imagine it's like Wonder Woman's invisible plane. The meter's run out. Where's the ship gone? So the guy that comes onto the Red Dwarf, onto Starbug, is the Holoship guy. He's famous. I've seen him.
Don Warrington.
Yes. Brilliant actor. This is one of my favourite scenes all so far. I love how Lister, they go back and forth. Lister does the communicator with the cigarette pack. I'm going to tell you something. I used to do that when I smoked when I was younger, a teenager.
Yeah, it's out.
Pass my friends out. If you know a Red Dwarfer does that, pulls out a communicator and talks shit, I used to do that to my friends.
I think Dan has actually seen me do that when somebody I didn't like at uni came in while I was outside having a fag. We have it on. It's a complete smegpot.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm going to say I'd need both hands to count the number of times I actually saw that.
Wow.
Yes.
Damn.
It was a fairly regular thing. There were a lot of people I didn't get on with at uni, in fairness.
Fair play. You don't have to defend your decisions.
Tom's an ornery bastard.
Thanks, man.
And that's the best kind. So I love how all these people are really posh on the Holoship and they act like MPs. They are basically conservatives. The whole ship.
I'm like,
a bit harsh.
MPs on sub. Wow.
We're not going to get to the typical posh people. So.
Well, you don't know that they're posh. How do you know that Russian doesn't sound like a farmer to another Russian?
Yeah, it could be like low age.
I talk about the English people in this show.
Fair enough.
So, I do want to just go.
What you're looking for is elitist.
I mean,
the elitists. Yes. High society.
Can I just also pick up on this to eating the cigarette at the end of the previous scene as well? Disgusting. Oh, pretty disgusting. Sorry about that. I bet you Craig Charles spat that out afterwards.
It was a specially prepared one. It was actually edible.
Yeah.
Oh, was it one of the sweet cigars?
No, they made it specially with like.
No, I made it for the show.
Rice paper and like chocolate or something.
Oh, good.
It was specially made for him to be able to do that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
So I do love their little greeting is reverse horns. Like rock and roll. It's a bit more, they just turn the back of the hand forward. It's basically very simple, non-copyrighted Star Trek. Close to it. Lovely. So they say that the Space Corps built the Holoship. Is this the same Space Corps that built Red Dwarf? I'm a bit confused.
Well, the Red Dwarf was a mining ship, so it wasn't it wasn't exactly the same thing.
No,
not the same company.
No, because there were loads of companies. Because space was the whole idea of Red Dwarf is that it's done 21st, 22nd century is when it officially started, and human beings have, if you read the books, have actually abandoned planet Earth by this point completely. Okay. And they're out into the stars, so you've got loads of companies and doing mining missions and stuff. I think they all kind of work together, but there are loads of different companies.
I think we need to have that special on the books soon, between seasons. maybe nearer the end. Because the
possibly.
books are based in the BBC era, aren't they? Maybe between seasons 8 and 9, Back to Earth would do it there. Anyway,
Well, the thing is with the books is it kind of jumps around in a lot of weird ways. It touches on so many episodes you'd recognise.
Yeah.
But
I think it was
slightly.
either the beginning of season 3 or the beginning of season 4, whenever they moved studios.
Mm-hmm.
And also the Better Than Life books came out. There was a retcon that changed the start date of the lore for Red Dwarf from the 21st to the 23rd century.
All right, thank you. That would make sense.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, so I do love how the lady her name.
Nirvana Crane.
Thank you. I can't talk again today. She says to Rimmer, "You make love like a Japanese meal." That was quite funny.
Portions, but so many.
Yes.
I have a question. Does anyone actually say Geronimo while having sex? Now,
can't say that I have personally. But
no, it's just an unusual word. No,
it's got a lot. It seems to happen a lot in TV. Like it's a joke when a guy goes Geronimo. I've seen it quite a few times.
Well, obviously, cause it was the catchphrase from Matt Smith's Doctor, wasn't it?
Yeah, Doctor, innit? Geronimo.
But even before that, Geronimo has been a punchline in Copland.
Oh yeah.
For like sex, it's just interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that.
It used to be used as a battle charge cry, like long time back.
Also, was quite common to be used for the announcement that you're flinging yourself out of a plane when you're parachuting.
Oh yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. So I want to bring attention to when Rimmer comes back to complain. And Cat and Lister's frozen expression is funny. Like when he tells me he's had to have sex twice a day.
Him and Lister, their faces like
their faces is brilliant.
Crying.
Have sex twice a day with brilliant, beautiful women. Am I the only one who finds that just a bit tacky?
That Crichton line.
Seems that I am.
Seems like I am. And walked off.
So good.
I love Rimmer's glasses look when he takes in the when he does the mind patches.
Well, nerd Rimmer.
By the way, he's making bust up door noises when he stops to breathe. It sounds like a door. You know.
That's true, actually, yeah.
That's why I do that. I was cracking up. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
I do. Obviously, there's the famous where it's Lister before Rimmer goes back up to take the exam to take a spot on the ship. Lister says, "We don't speak Mandarin, we don't speak Japanese, we don't speak Satsuma." And as I said to you guys off camera, I would have loved that to be the name of our podcast. That's another cracker. We don't speak Satsuma.
I like the bit that happens a little bit after that, where Crichton's like, "You must remember that he is operating on a completely different level. To him, we are the intellectual equivalent of domestic science teachers."
Jeez, no, I was like, wow, that was deep.
I mean, have to get in. I don't know. I can't remember whether we've mentioned it, but I need to mention it now. The beginning of that. Oh no, we must have done that whole thing of the 2 minor drawbacks with the cat. So I know we probably mentioned it, but it's one of my favourite things in the universe.
The drawbacks
are epic. It's worth it. Do it.
No, I'm just drawing attention to it. That's all. I love it.
Because it's going to come up a lot this season.
Yes.
I love the fact that they are already applying for a new hologram while Rimmer's away. I just imagine if Chris Barry decided he wanted to leave, and they had to find a new hologram, it would have changed the whole future of Red Dwarf. I love the fact she would rather be dead than join the crew.
Oh, what's that line from Nirvana Crane's character? I've never met anyone like you. And Rimmer responds with, "Everyone says that."
Yeah.
It's just perfect. It's just And then the last line, they could have ended it perfectly with him just saying, "And you're wrong, sir. We won't be together. We won't be apart. We just won't be together." They could have left it there, and the crowd would have found that amusing that he'd done it. But then his face and the realization,
you had to do it. You had to do it.
I can't believe I
I have to go back a little bit because there's a bit before that. Whenever he leaves Red Dwarf, look, I'm not much good at it. And I know I haven't always been an easy guy to get on with. And I know that given the choice, I probably wouldn't have chosen you as friend. But I just want to say that over the years, I've come to regard you as people
I've met.
I met.
People I met.
He can't call them friends. I
He
love
can't do
it.
it. He's killing him. He's killing him when he does it. He kills him.
Anyway, yeah, this is a quality episode. A really good opening to a season, I think.
Yeah, really good. Strong start.
Can I just bring up one more thing at the end? I do love how Rimmer can't believe what he just said at the end. A really mushy type thing. Very clever. Also, I would love to know how they managed when Rimmer comes back on and they're auditioning. How come there's 2 holograms at once on the ship?
Yeah,
my nitpick for the week.
I don't. Everyone says that they think that that's a continuity error. I don't think it is.
Okay.
Because it happened in season 1, where there were 2 holograms for a time.
Yeah, it has happened.
And it never says that Holly stopped having that capability. They just didn't need it.
Yeah.
Because Rimmer would almost certainly shut down the suggestion of anybody being reanimated as a hologram, even if Lister wanted them to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then he would be outranked. So that was always how I kind of looked at it. Because I wondered that, but I think that's probably what it is that Holly has the capability to sustain 2 holograms, but because Rimmer is technically the superior officer, he can refuse to let Lister get another hologram. And I always just assumed that that's what they'd done, and Lister had just given up trying by this point.
Okay, well that's
maybe I'm wrong. That was just how I took it.
So this is a very strong start to the season.
Very.
Yeah. My favourite part is when Lister's, not Lister, Rimmer, when he was just literally just playing the two computers at the same time when he's trying to pass the test. That's my favourite part. That's my favourite part of the episode. Me.
I mean, personally, I thought it started well, but fell apart. All the stuff about the ducks getting into trouble, that was great, but then it went black and white.
Oh, here we go. Go on, Dan. Oh, Dan, that's pretty. The cat line, I love it.
Lovely. Okay, well, so we'll see you next week for episode 2 of season 5 of the Inquisitor. So it's goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Bye for me.
Bye from me.
Did I really just say that? Smeg off your smeg heads.